Okay, so I think we can start the session. All right. So for today's session, we'll cover the next topic, which is virtualization. And shoes. Okay, so I'll go fast because you have already do the reading, and it is related to your assignment number 2. So by the end of this topic, you guys should be able to describe, what is virtualization, describe the benefits of the virtual machines, describe the various virtual machines technology, describe the methods used to implement the virtualization. So all these are aligned to your module learning outcome number 2. Okay, and in brief, there are two types of virtualization. We have type 1, and the visualization is related to hypervisor. So hypervisor is one type of visualization. Hypervisor is a software that creates and runs the virtual machine, and it provides the virtualization capabilities. So different hypervisor require different components to be installed on the host system and to provide virtualization. So there are two types. One is type 1 and the second one is type 2. So type 1 is generally sit on top of the hardware, and type 2 is generally sit on top of another software. So this is just a diagram to illustrate the type 1 and type 2 hypervisor. Or type 1, we can call it as bare metal, as another name for type 1. And type 2, the other name is hosted. You can see the example of type 1 hypervisor if you use the Amazon AWS. Have anyone heard of Amazon AWS? Okay, so Amazon AWS is a type of type 1 hypervisor where you can use the capability of the servers and also all the computer characteristics that being provided by the Amazon through the cloud. Okay, through the cloud. And where's that slide again? Okay, so when you use the hypervisor, you can install a number of operating systems in it. So for example, you can install Linux apart from Windows, or you can install Unix in the hypervisor software. Right, so this is just one of the example of type 1 hypervisor apart from the Amazon AWS. We have Zen hypervisor. So for the Zen hypervisor, it has two versions. One is open source and the other one is the commercial version. So Zen 1 is a type of type 1 hypervisor. And we have Hyper-V. So Hyper-V was developed by Microsoft, and Hyper-V installed after the Windows OS is installed. So Hyper-V, when enabled, it inserts itself between the hardware and also the OS. And I only can show you the type 2 hypervisor on my device. Okay, so at the moment, I have Oracle VM VirtualBox Manager. So this is an example of hypervisor type 2. So meaning that this virtual machine is being installed on top of my OS. And my OS is Windows. So I have this hypervisor on top of it. And inside of this hypervisor, I have one OS, which is Ubuntu. So if you're interested, you can try it. Okay, you can try and install it on your device. You go to Oracle VM website, and then you download the VM VirtualBox. So by doing this, you don't have to install the Ubuntu on your device. Okay, you just install it on the virtual machine. So basically, it will not take your storage. But in order to do this, you have to have a good processor speed, and also you have to have a good memory speed. So the minimum memory speed that you have to have is 8 gigabit, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so let me try to show you. Let me try to start it. Okay, so by clicking on the start button, it will execute the Ubuntu OS, and this is being done virtually, and it is using all my computer resources like RAM and also the processor speed. Okay, so it's only it doesn't use much on my storage. Okay, so I'm sure that for those who are familiar with Linux, so this is how you start the Linux operating system. And give it some time. Okay, so there you go. Right. So by using the type 2 hypervisor, okay, basically the OS is operating on top of my OS, and it can access my input and output devices. So basically I'm using my device keyboard and my device mouse and my device, the sound system. Okay, so that's how the type 2 hypervisor works. It's work on top of another operating system. Okay, as you can see from the diagram, what is that diagram again? Okay, so if you look at this diagram, so this is the host OS. So for my case, this is my device, and on my device, I'm using the Windows. Why am I using my touchpad? Where's my mouse? Okay, never mind. Okay, so this is my Windows, and on top of it, okay, I have a hypervisor. So my hypervisor that I'm using is Oracle VM. So this is just one of the hypervisor type 2 that you can use on your device if you're using Windows. Okay, so this is Oracle. Hold on, let me take my mouse. Okay. Alright, so let me try. Okay, Oracle. Hey, what's that? Okay, so this is the Oracle VM virtual machine. Oosh. And then on my Oracle machine, okay, I have installed one OS which is called Ubuntu. Okay, Ubuntu. Anyone familiar with Linux? Raise up your hand. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So what have you done with Linux so far? You just learn it, or have you done any programming on it? Maybe you can share, no? So when did you learn the Linux? A few months ago. Is it on your own course or what? OS, okay. How about the others? Because one of your friends said is OS. Is it being used in the OS subject? No, it's not being used. But you explore it on your own or what? Oh, you haven't used it yet. Okay. So how about you, Mister? Huh? No, behind that. Huh? You have used Linux previously, isn't it? Same. Oh, because of the OS. Okay. Anybody else have used the Linux apart from the OS subject? No? Okay. Right. So maybe if you want to be a good if you want to be a good back-end developer, you have to be familiar with Linux, because most of the system are based on the Linux operating system, not on Windows. So for those who are interested, maybe you can go to one of the there is Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is one of the Linux operating system that you can use, and yeah, maybe you can explore. Okay. So there are a lot of versions for Ubuntu. So you can choose one of them. But if you don't want to use your storage on your laptop, you can install it on the Oracle VM machine. So let's look at the. All right, I haven't finished set up this yet. Okay, so they have the same function as the Windows. It's just that they are more towards coding, not towards the graphical user interface. Okay, so like I said, if you want to be a good back-end developer, you have to be familiar with the Linux system. And what else? Okay, so let's look at the Ubuntu thing. Okay, so Ubuntu, let's see the product. Yeah, so you can use the Ubuntu for desktop. Okay, so it's the free version. Okay, the number of one open source, meaning, what does it mean by open source? It's a basic one. What does it mean by open source? Yes, anyone can use it. It's a free license. Okay, it's a free license. So it's an open source. You don't have to buy any license for it. And if you're a good developer, then you could go for the Ubuntu Pro or Ubuntu server. All right, what else? Okay, let's look at the slide. Okay, so Hyper-V. By the way, later on, in the tutorial, we will see, okay, you guys will experience to use one of the AWS product. So it's a free tier. Okay, I will show you on how to use it by next week or in 2 weeks' time. So during that time, you will have to bring your laptop because we will try to play around with one of the AWS module or AWS tier. Okay, and then you can explore it from there. Maybe in 2 weeks' time, not next week. Okay, in 2 weeks' time. All right, so there are a lot of products that you can, Okay, yeah, that you can explore. And the one that we're going to explore, if I'm not mistaken, is Amazon EC2. Okay, and the other one is, I can't remember what's the other one, but we will go through that. Okay, so this is just one of the type 1 hypervisor. So apart from the AWS, we also have, what's the other one? Is it? So let's see Hyper-V. Okay, so Hyper-V. All right, so Hyper-V is being developed by Microsoft. Okay, so it's an example of type 1. So you can use the Hyper-V on your Windows 7. So basically when you use the Hyper-V on your Windows, okay, you won't use the what do you call that? The characteristics, not the characteristics. What do you call it? Never mind. Okay, so all right, so types of server visualization. You have server visualization, and the 3 types of server visualization is full visualization, para virtualization, and OS level virtualization. So the what is the software again? Oracle. Okay, Oracle VM is an example of OS level virtualization. Why is it considered as OS level virtualization? Yes. Okay, so there's already one layer that is on your device. Okay, so the hypervisor, it works on top of the OS, the current OS that you're having on your device. Okay, so that is why it is called as, it's known as OS level virtualization. The Oracle VM is just one of the example of the OS level virtualization. All right, so benefits of server visualization, consolidation of machines, redundancy, running legacy system, and we have storage visualization. Okay, that is used for the storage area network. Network visualization used for VPN, virtual private network. And for the network visualization, it's splitting the available bandwidth into channel, where each of them are independent and can be assigned. Okay, so I'm not very familiar with the network visualization, even though I'm a network, okay, because it's another level of network, okay. All right. So application visualization, okay, it allows Windows application to run on Linux, vice versa. And data visualization is abstracting the technical details of data. And desktop visualization, it can be used by organization to respond fast to the changing workplace needs. All right, so these are some of the benefits. Okay, it can increase the flexibility, scalability, and also cost saving. So why is it increase cost saving? Sorry, who's saying that? You only need to buy? Yes, you don't have to buy the physical hardware, because let's say, okay, if you're running this, for example, this Oracle VM, it is using the virtual hardware. It's not using the what do you call that? The hardware that is on the laptop. Basically, it's using only small part of it, like the storage or the hard disk, not the not hard disk. Is only using the memory, which is the RAM, and also the processor, not the storage. Okay, all right. What else? All right. And then application and resources can be provisioned fast and greater business continuity and disaster recovery. So those are the topics that you have to remember. All right. And to be honest, it won't be asked in your final exam. Okay. It won't be asked in your final exam because it already asked in your assignment number 2. All right. Okay. Let me. Where is that thing? Where is the tutorial 5? Okay. So for your final exam, one of the topics that you have to focus is the tutorial 5. So I have covered the tutorial 5 with all the groups this week. So it will be related to your final exam, one of the questions in your final exam, and not in your test. Okay, it won't be covered in your test, but it will be covered in your final exam. So meaning that for the tutorial 5, you have to know on how to draw the Gantt chart for all the scheduling algorithms. Okay. So the Gantt chart for all the scheduling algorithms, and also you have to know on how to calculate the turnaround time and also the waiting time. So please remember, if there is a question related to this in your final exam, if you do it wrongly in your Gantt chart, you will get a wrong value for the turnaround and also for the waiting time. So please be careful when you draw the Gantt chart in your final exam, because I don't want you to get 0 at the end for this question. Okay, so you have to really understand the tutorial number 5, especially the question 1 through question 3. Right, so this will be one of the questions that will be asked in your final exam. As for your tests, okay, I will share it by the end of the week. And one more thing before we dismiss, I just want to remind you guys again, even though I have reminded so many times, there are still a few of the group that have not filled in the group leader details. So please do it by this week, because by the end of this week, I'm expecting to have or to get 70-something recordings. And at the moment, or as of today, I have sent 55 invitations to the group leaders. But I only received 41 acceptance from the group leaders. So, but it's okay for the acceptance. Maybe by the end of this week, it will increase. I'm just concerned about this one. Okay, so there should be about, I think 70, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, by the way, Chang Zini. Who is Chang Zini? Who is Chao Zingni? Is he here? Any member from this group? Any member from this group? None? Oh, come on, guys. Anyone? No member? Because I need to know which group is he in. Because he has put in the wrong place previously. He has put his name at group 29. So if you guys know him, please tell him to put his name and also his email address to the correct group number. Okay, so I have give feedback on some of the recordings, and yeah, I still have a few more feedbacks to be given later on. Don't worry, I won't play it here. Okay, I won't play it here. Okay, right. So 14, 13 so far, so good. What else? Anything else that you want to ask? Nope. Anyone interested in installing the Ubuntu or the virtual machine on your device? No, not interested? Okay, so let's say if you guys are interested, you can try to download the Oracle VM, and then you can install other OS on your device. Okay, so before we end the session, I'm going to open the attendance again. And if you have any questions that you guys want to ask, you can come in front and ask me. I'll be here up to 1 o'clock. Thank you.